For months, the whispers around the love and marriage Huntsville set had been getting louder. Rumors about Marsau and Sunni, two of the most talked about figures on the show, were spreading fast. The chemistry between them had been obvious, and while the public was still in the dark, insiders were catching on. It seemed like nothing could shake the reality TV world until one person stepped forward with shocking receipts, changing everything. That person? Martell, no stranger to scandals himself, had stayed mostly out of the drama for the past few seasons. After his messy divorce from Melody and the fallout from his own cheating scandals, people thought Martell was finished with the drama. But it seems like Martell wasn't done just yet. He had one final bombshell to drop. Martell didn't just speak up, he exposed everything. And trust me, when Martell drops a bomb, it's not a small one. He dropped the mother of all bombs, and suddenly, what was once just whispered rumors turned into all-out public chaos. Let's start with how Martell stumbled upon the secret. It all went down one night during a private event, an event that wasn't being filmed, and therefore, not something the cameras could capture. Martell was there, walking in when he witnessed something that made his stomach drop. According to Martell, what he saw was an exchange that was far too intimate to just be friends or business partners. It was more than that. It was a hug, but not just any hug. It was the kind of hug that sent a message loud and clear. There was something going on between Marsau and Sunni that was crossing the line. Martell didn't immediately go public. He didn't rush to social media or a press conference. Instead, he sat on the information for weeks. Martell was waiting. He was hoping that Marsau would come clean. Maybe Marsau would confess to his wife, Tisha, and admit what he'd done. But weeks went by, and nothing happened. No admission. No truth. Just more lies. So, Martell did what anyone in his position might do. He took matters into his own hands. He dropped subtle hints on Instagram. He made shady comments during filming. And it didn't take long for fans to start piecing it together. The pieces were there, but the full picture? That came when Martell released it all. And when he finally spoke out, he didn't just give vague details. No, Martell had receipts. And these receipts weren't just rumors or gossip, these were verified truths, a timeline of events, and leaked information that changed everything. Martell didn't just post vague claims online. He dropped bombshell after bombshell, including a shocking leaked message that exploded the entire situation wide open. In a private cast group chat, Martell dropped this bomb: "I'm done keeping secrets for grown men. If y'all gonna keep smiling in people's faces while doing dirt behind their backs, I'm not the one to protect you. I saw what I saw, Marsau, you know what you did, Sunni too." This message didn't just stay between Martell and the cast members. No. It got leaked. And when it did, everything shifted. Fans were left shocked, questioning everything they thought they knew about the show's stars. Martell wasn't just hinting anymore. He was calling them out, publicly, without any fear of retaliation. But that wasn't all. Martell didn't stop there. Within 24 hours, he posted more cryptic Instagram stories, screenshots, voice notes, blurry pictures. These weren't just any pictures, these were moments taken from behind the scenes, showing how deep the relationship between Marsau and Sunni really went. And the internet exploded. Fans started doing their own detective work, combing through old episodes, revisiting past interactions, and suddenly, everything took on a new meaning. So, how did Sunni respond to all this? Did she come forward with a calm, composed denial? Did she apologize? Nope. Sunni went live on Instagram in a fiery, 20-minute rant. The anger in her voice was clear, and she did what many people feared she might. Instead of defending herself or addressing the situation directly, she went on the attack. Sunni didn't just deny the accusations. She didn't just say, "That's not true, I didn't do that." Instead, she brought up Martell's own past. His cheating, his drama with Melody, the custody battles, the failed business deals. It was as if, instead of clearing her name, Sunni was trying to discredit Martell and shift the attention away from her own situation. To many fans, that seemed like a red flag. If she was truly innocent, why wasn't she offering a straightforward denial? But then, things got even messy, eh? Sunni posted screenshots of text messages between her and Marsau. On the surface, they looked harmless: business talks, event planning, some light-hearted conversation. But there was one problem. In one of the screenshots, fans noticed something strange. There was a blurred-out thumbnail of a photo. It wasn't clear what the photo was, but the suggestion was there. A photo that was too suggestive to ignore. Sunni quickly deleted the post, but the damage was already done, and just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a former crew member stepped forward with a huge claim. This anonymous source stated that they saw Marsau and Sunni together at an Atlanta hotel weeks before Martell's revelation. And this was during a time when Tisha believed her husband was at a business seminar in Birmingham. The source confirmed, "I saw them walk into the lobby together. No cameras, no assistants, no press. Just the two of them. They didn't look like coworkers. They looked like they didn't want to be seen." If you think this is where the drama ended, think again. Because now, the real victim started to emerge: Tisha. Marsau's wife. Business partner. The woman who had been defending her husband through countless rumors, scandals, and accusations. But this time, Tisha wasn't kept in the loop. She didn't hear the truth from her husband, and she didn't hear it from Sunni. No, Tisha found out the same way everyone else did. Through Martell's explosive interview, Tisha was blindsided. Marsau's initial reaction? Denial. He tried to convince her that Martell was just being Martell, trying to stir the pot because he was bored. But the more Tisha questioned him, the more defensive Marsau became. It didn't take long for Tisha to start connecting the dots. Unexplained phone calls, late nights, suspicious charges on their joint credit card. One charge, in particular, stood out: a room service bill from an upscale hotel in Atlanta. The same hotel where Sunni and Marsau had allegedly been seen together. The timeline matched up. And Marsau's excuse? That it was just a client dinner. Tisha didn't buy it. Behind the scenes, Tisha was furious. Hurt. Betrayed. And not just by her husband, but by Sunni, the woman she had once considered a friend. The confrontation between Tisha and Sunni happened during the filming of the season finale. Cameras were rolling, but it wasn't the kind of dramatic confrontation fans were used to seeing. Producers had to step in multiple times as Tisha broke down. Unable to contain her emotions, Tisha confronted Sunni in front of the crew, calling her out. "You smiled in my face while texting my husband behind my back," Tisha said. Sunni, however, remained calm, denying everything. "There's nothing going on," she insisted. "You're being manipulated by Martell." Tisha wasn't having it. "If there's nothing, then why did you delete the photo? Why did you lie?" she shot back. In tears, Tisha walked off set, refusing to continue filming. And the silence that followed spoke volumes. Fans soon noticed that Tisha had unfollowed both Marsau and Sunni on social media. Speculation about divorce quickly followed. Tisha, the strong woman who had stood by Marsau through thick and thin, was now facing the most painful betrayal of all. But just when everyone thought the drama couldn't get worse, a new player entered the chat. A woman named Melinda, though not her real name, stepped forward with even more damning claims. She revealed that she had been in a private, off-the-books relationship with Marsau for over a year. According to Melinda, Marsau told her he wasn't in love with Tisha anymore. He had even bought her gifts, including a necklace from a trip to Miami. She shared screenshots of flirtatious messages, travel plans, and even a picture of Marsau sleeping in her bed. As expected, Marsau denied these claims, calling them clout chasing and denying the authenticity of the receipts. But by then, the damage was done. The truth was out, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. The public's perception of Marsau, Sunni, and even Tisha had shifted forever. And with it, the very foundation of love and marriage Huntsville was being questioned. Fans began to wonder how much of the drama was real and how much was orchestrated for the cameras. The tension on the set, the blurred lines between friendship and betrayal, and the collapse of what seemed like the perfect family made it clear that the show wasn't just about marriage and love anymore, it was about exposing the lies behind the scenes.